In this video, we're going to be explaining how to make an adjustment to a recipe so that it meets all of a particular dog's nutritional needs. So let's say that we're interested in this recipe for Gordon. We'd calculate nutrition, select Gordon's nutritional profile, and the first thing to look at is the calories that Gordon needs per day here versus the calories that he's going to get with this recipe at his normal serving size. So as you can see here, because this recipe is an energy dense recipe and Gordon is an average activity level dog, this recipe is at Gordon's normal serving size going to be giving him about 200 calories more than what he needs in a day if we're using the normal serving size. So that's why up at the top here we created adjust serving size to meet caloric needs of the dog. So in this case, when we click this on, it's going to reduce the serving size down a little bit, and that will make the serving size of this particular recipe equal the exact number of calories that Gordon needs in a day. You can see here we're at 5 cups of food right now. We click adjust and it goes down to 4. And now as you can see with this selected on, the calories that he needs in a day equals the calories that he's going to get in a day with this particular recipe. So now let's go down and check the rest of the nutrient points to make sure that it's good for Gordon across the board. As you can see, we've got one that's low here, selenium, but it's very, very close. And it's looking good across the board with everything else. So to streamline the ability of making an edit like this, we created this little informational note, and it tells you what foods you can typically add that are high in selenium, or which foods that are typically low in selenium to avoid if you're trying to get a little more selenium in here. And then also why each nutrient is important. You can click edit recipe right from here. And now, since you're editing a suggested recipe, it's going to have you give it a custom name, and then that recipe will show up from then on under your My Customized Recipes section. So in this case, let's call this Gordon Custom 2. And this is going to take us to the basic editor page. But this kind of adjustment is going to require the advanced editor, so we're going to go there. Now in the advanced editor screen here, be sure to click the adjust serving size again and make sure that we've selected the correct pet profile to be analyzing here, which in this case is Gordon. And now we're going to try and resolve that slight lack of selenium. Now you note that it does tell you foods that you can add that are high in selenium, but in a situation like this where it's so close, the easiest thing to do is just find where that selenium is coming from and add a little bit more. So to do that, we're going to scroll over to the right part of the advanced editor here, and we'll scroll down until we see selenium right here. And you can see the recipe right now has a total of 424 micrograms of selenium in it. So we're going to scroll further to the right and see where is that selenium coming from. All right, so you can see clearly the majority of the selenium is coming from the ChefPaw Nutrition Booster here, and secondarily from the ground beef itself. So this sounds like a perfect situation to add a little bit more nutrition booster and most likely solve this one last problem with the recipe. So we're going to come back over here, find the ChefPaw Nutrition Booster, and let's try 48 grams, an increase of 2 grams. I clicked enter to save the changes, and you'll notice it says processing here. All right, now that that's processed, we can come back over here and scroll through, make sure everything is in the green. And the selenium, you can see here now it's got 1 microgram more than it needs to, putting it in the optimal range, so we're good there. And we're green across the board. Now, if everything is green across the board for the specific pet, that's the best thing. It's also good to double check over here that it's still a balanced recipe in general for dogs. So we're gonna look at these 2 columns here and make sure that everything's still in the green, which it is. And so at that point, we'll just make sure everything's saved, and then we can go back and start using the recipe. And now at this point, you'll also note that you can find this customized recipe in My Customized Recipes, and you can edit that at any time from right here.